Welcome to 2 on the 10.
Oh, we back another week, baby.
Yes, sir.
2 on the 10. I'm Paul.
I'm Mitch.
Greedy.
Oh, you know what time it is. How you guys feeling?
Good, good. How about you?
My body weary, coach. My body weary.
Thought you were going to start singing R. Kelly, my body.
Shit, that's how I was this weekend, man. Coming off 4th of July weekend. Woo!
I'm already on the diet to recover.
Nick on the diet. Nobody got no alcohol in them. You know it.
You ate a lot of Roman candles this weekend?
Pause.
Drank way too much.
Hey,
Eat way too much.
you go down to San Diego. That's the thing to do, baby.
I'll try.
You wake up, drink, go to sleep, drink.
Sounds like that Kendrick song.
Yeah.
Pull up, drink.
Wake up, drink.
Yeah.
It's the only place I drank breakfast, lunch, and dinner
Yeah, shit. I mean,
at Laughlin. But
ooh, Laughlin stories, man. Fucking face down on the bed. Oh, I don't even want to think about those.
Pause.
no rider.
I think Laughlin, to be honest with you, when we used to go on the trips up with Laughlin, I think that's the drunkest I've ever been. No. In my life, I just think about that some of the time. That some of the times up there may have been like top 5 times I've been the drunkest in my life. It was like we went up there on a fucking mission. And every place you sat down, you had a drink in your hand.
Yeah.
You walking down the street, you had a drink in your hand. You're on the way up there, you got a drink in your hand. It was just fucking nonstop drinking. It was just crazy. I mean, by the time Sunday rolled around, that's why I started having to love Bloody Marys. I was so fucking hurt.
Yeah.
And I wasn't a big fan of Bloody Marys when we were going up there, but I forgot. It was the only thing that would get me through Sundays.
Yep.
And then we started drinking again, and all of a sudden it's fucking Sunday night, because we used to come home on Sunday night.
Yeah, that was the dangerous shit ever.
Yeah, exactly.
Drive home.
I used to have to drive.
You used to
I
have
used to
to drive.
stop drinking on Sunday.
And we was like, fuck this. It's not worth it.
it's not worth it.
Hey, I just want to bring up Bloody Marys. Speaking of Bloody Marys, shit sucks getting old, man. I drink like 2 Bloody Marys now. I wake up with heartburn in the middle of the night. Like, I didn't drink that. I drank that Bloody Mary like 14 hours ago. Waking up with heartburn and shit, man. Just getting old.
Shit, I got Rolaids by the bed, baby. You know. I popped the motherfucker like Tic Tacs. Don't trip. I can't sleep when I got heartburn. Fuck that. So
We really talk about heartburn on this show.
yeah, bro. It's
Some people talk about heartache. We talk about heartburn.
Same difference.
But no, I started out, and I normally got you guys, but weekend for me, 4th of July, I went over to a little pool party. It was cool, just hung out with a bunch of people, but it was one of them things where, you sit in the pool, it's hot as fuck, and you just thought, them drinks are just going back so easy because you're so dehydrated. Man, started drinking at about 1:30. Fuck. I had a delivery the very next day. It was early. It was an early delivery. Didn't realize it. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna pace myself, dude. Of course, that shit went right out the fucking window. Once some drinks started flowing in you, just go. Oh, bro, I stayed up. Really, on 4th of July, I stayed up 26 hours straight.
Damn.
Yeah, it was one of them unintended kind of ordeals that happened. That just you had to keep going, and then I finally had time to lay in the bed. I was out cold. I put my phone on the charger and I fucking didn't answer for nobody. Like my mama's calling. I was like, Trey.
So did you go? I've done this a few times in my heyday. You get in when the light's coming up, and you sleep till it's dark.
Nah, it was crazy. I was up when the light was go. I mean, I was up until fucking 10, 11 o'clock the next morning. You know what I'm saying? And then
You pulling a Trinidad James, pop the Molly, and you're sweating.
woo. That's the thing. I wasn't even off no drugs, man. It was just straight up alcohol. It was crazy as shit. But like I said, I had a delivery in the morning that I had to take care of, knock that out, and then by the time I got the workers to where they needed to be, and just everything settled down. It was like almost noon and shit like that. I was fucking out like a light. It was crazy.
Out like a light.
But the crazy thing is, I only slept for like probably 4 or 5 hours. Woke up, I went and got some food, came back, ate, got back in the bed, slept for another like 3, 4 hours, and then I was up for a minute. You know what I'm saying? It was like my body was like, you you know, even though you ain't had no sleep, you still fucking had to sleep and shit like that. But man, that was Thursday. Friday, luckily I fucking rested. Friday was just nothing but a rest day. My girl had shit to do. I was like, you go do it, because I'm fucking just laying in this bed. I ain't trying to get out. So luckily, it was Friday was good. Man, Saturday, went on the boat. Another day. Fuck, what the fuck, man? Like I said, it was a 4th of July weekend, and you know, it's just one of them things where you just fucking just rolling back drinks after drinks. Sun's hot, everything. Man, I'm telling you, I got back in the. I started drinking about around 6 because we got off the lake around about.
What do you drink on the water now? Remember back in the day, it used to be Coors Lights, and then we all kind of faded.
Yeah, I drink vodka, man. I drink. That's my thing. Is like I drink vodka with a little 2C, you know, or I just drink vodka straight. You know what I'm saying? So that's like my drink of choice right now. Like I've graduated from. I don't do beer that much because it makes me sleepy.
I got you.
Yeah, it's like if I drink beer. Oh, but you know what beer? I fucking if you're gonna drink beer, that doesn't make me sleepy for some reason. It's like a michelada. Okay. You ever had a michelada?
Yeah.
You know it?
Yeah.
And the if somebody does it, Zips does a really good fucking michelada. I ain't gonna lie. They do a zipperito over there too. It's really good. If you guys don't know what a michelada is, it's basically a Bloody Mary with a beer on top. So. Or a margarita with a beer on top. So, no, but it's fucking good though, and I can do a bunch of those because it get me fucked up. So yeah. But other than that, man, Sunday comes around. My girl got her son back. It was like, you know, we played in the pool a little bit, and then they ended up going to fucking Sunsplash. She was, you know, I was like, I can't do this. I'm sunned out and everything. So you know, they went to Sunsplash. Fucking, what did Daddy do? He slept some more, you know what I'm saying? I had to get in there. But I promised myself, I was like, look, you got to take some time off. You got to chill on the drink and shit like that. You know, it not like old days where, fuck, you know, our body recover in 24 hours and shit like that. And your fucking liver ain't beating on you and something like that. But it's just, you can just tell, man. I'm just like tired. My face is droopy.
So what you're saying, basically, it's like the Rocky movies. You know, when you're in high school, college, it's Rocky 1.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, you know, you in your mid-20s, it's Rocky 2. You know, you're in your early 30s, it's Rocky 3. Rocky 4 is your late 30s.
Yeah.
And then you start training other people in the arts.
Exactly. Arts drinking because fucking, man, I just remember, especially, you know, just like all of us coming up. I mean, especially you, Mitch. You used to throw them. Let's keep it 100. You used to throw them back, bro. For real. Like, I've never seen a person drink as much as you did. Like, you would you could sit there. I remember we go to bars sometimes, and you could sit there, literally kill 9 to 10 drinks, and just be chill. Like, oh, good.
True story. So remember when we used to go to the Hub, right? That's one of the neighborhood bars, you know. What's it called? The younger bartenders, you know, I remember one day this kid's just shaking his head, smiling. I'm like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "Man, I don't know. We're just amazed at you." I go, "Why? What's up?" He goes, and "This is when I used to drink Red Bull and vodkas, which I retired,
Right.
and I also drink tall ultras and tall Red Bull vodka,
Right.
And I just put a 2 up, one of each, right?" And he goes, "You'll come in the bar, hang out for a few hours, just put up, okay, another one. We give you a tall beer, tall Red Bull vodka, tall beer, tall Red Bull vodka, tall beer, tall Red Bull vodka. All of a sudden, about after 5 servings of each, you're just chill. You're mellow, you're laughing. And it doesn't matter if you've had 8 drinks or 12 drinks. You're like, okay, see you guys later. Have a good night. Like, you're the same person. It's crazy. You might be a little hyper from the Red Bull, but other than that, you're like, oh, okay, cool.
So what did you think? Did you think your body just metabolizes it differently?
No, I don't know, because there's been many times like you know, where I pay for it, you know,
gotcha.
or as we've seen, you know, you run out of gas.
Right.
And when you run out of gas, it's a shit show.
Right.
You know, it's like you pass out at a Subway, of course. You pass out at a Denny's. I mean, shit. Remember how many times like when I'm done, I'll just fall out in front of the Denny's. Remember the one on 19th Ave back in the day?
Yeah.
And they're all, "Come on, Mitch, this highway patrol's come on. I don't care." Yeah. I'm lying out front of the
Oh,
Denny's.
motherfucker, that's right. I had to. Oh, is that when I called my ex? I called my ex-wife to come pick us up.
Because we played. Now we're getting off the subject, but we were playing in the Gilbert City League basketball. You were on that team, too, right, Nick?
That's right.
Okay, and so afterwards we were like, because he had to go back home.
Yeah.
And so, well, we'll just hang out after the game. I'll change up your place, and let's go. And I always wanted to go to this bar, and I was telling everybody about it because I tried to check every bar everywhere. And back on Wednesday nights, this is for people that know Phoenix area. there was a spot on 19th Ave in Deer Valley called Woody's.
Woody's.
Yeah, it was Woody's.
Yeah.
And half of it was a bar and nightclub, and the other half was a strip club. Go figure. And it was the most poppin' party that I don't know how everybody went that far out because I wasn't familiar. Something like that. And I remember this time we rolled up because I had the Jetta, remember? And we had just popped in Jay-Z's album. So it had to be after September 11th, right. The week after.
Right.
Because we're listening to the Takeover song. Remember? Oh, he's going to Nas. Remember?
Right.
We're driving on the way up. And I just remember, so Paul's like, oh, I'm hanging at Mitch's house, after the game or whatever. So we change up. We would ride up there. I go, this is going to be far. He's like, it was like an hour at least or whatever, and it was all the way up. And this is when there was no traffic back then. 17, 19, take the 17 highway, the 10 to 17. Didn't even know where I was going. And then exit Deer Valley, 19th Ave in Deer Valley. They didn't even have the 101 back then all the way around, Yeah. And so we get there partying. Man, it was fun, right? It was like, what the hell? Like this place is in the middle of freaking nowhere.
Yep.
And then I remember, like, not only did we, have a good time and everything, I think we jumped in a couple people, like there were some girls we had met that, I guess, I don't know if Steve was with us or something, but somebody was smoking somebody out. I just remember, I don't usually smoke, but I smoked. And next thing you know, we're at Denny's. And I realized that my keys in the car dropped out in their car. And they were driving down the street.
Yep.
We watched them take down the street and turn.
Yep.
And we're trying to run. They're trying to chase them down. And so the keys to my car were there. And then I was out of it. So I'm lying on the front of the mat at Denny's at 3 a.m.
But this motherfucking line like is bad.
Yeah. And I was out front.
And the cops were going to come in. I'm like, fuck.
People were walking over me and shit.
I'm like, we're going to go to fucking jail tonight. It was just crazy. Yeah. And I tried to call my head.
I remember this because I heard the story and I kind of listened to it because I'm on the ground, but I didn't care. That's fine. I'll just call my wife and she'll come get us.
Yeah.
What's it called? He calls his wife. Hey, honey, we're out there. What the fuck are you doing out there? Thought you were at Mitch's house down the street. Well, you figure it the fuck out.
Yeah.
And get your ass here now.
Yeah. I was like, okay. Well, that won't work. I don't know. How the fuck did we get home?
Shout out to Jeremy Smith. After making all the calls, he came in and picked us up.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
I think we got home about 5 a.m. or 4 a.m. And then I had to go the next day with my spare key, pick up the car.
Yeah.
I did about a month and a half later get my key back from like
some girl.
Yeah. They were at Martini Ranch one night. I'm like, give me my keys, whatever. but yeah, so that was crazy. But that went off subject.
Yeah.
But just to show you that, you go crazy in the paint, you will pay for it. You will pay for it, or you do pay for it. I mean, shit, there's many times, like many times. And then you start learning, man, to pace yourself. I did all the little tricks of water before, water after, Pepto-Bismol, everything else. Coat your stomach.
Right.
Make sure you get food in before you pass out. Those things. Like, if you can definitely tell a night of heavy drinking if you haven't eaten the next morning or if you have. Yeah. Like, at least if you have, you've coated your stomach and at least you're going to start, trying to get better.
Right.
If not, you're in fucking trouble. Sorry to cut you off on that whole thing.
No. You good. No, that was about the end, but that shit was just funny. Just thinking about that. But Grady, tell us about Daco, baby.
Oh man, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
My mom texted me. She's like, "It's 118 here today." I'm like, "It's like 72 at the beach. The water's perfect. The water was actually nice.
Really, it wasn't cold.
It was nice. Although a funny story, my mom's like, "Are the beaches closed?" I guess some of the beaches closer to Tijuana, they closed down.
Why?
Because I guess they were dumping like sewage into the ocean.
Oh,
and
shit.
it was floating up, and they were testing the water. They were like,
You sure your toilet didn't just clog?
yeah, the levels were too high. So I guess that's what my mom said. I didn't hear about it, but I guess they closed some of the beaches up closer to San Diego.
Oh, okay, wow.
Or up closer to Mexico. I mean,
Gotcha.
I don't go that close. So, but yeah, it was cool. The beach was nice. Did some cool food spots. There's this place. First of all, two things. Little Italy. They have a nice Little Italy in San Diego. It's like right by downtown.
Yep.
Still, kind of a little bit. It's downtown, but it's far enough away from like the gas lamp and the craziness that it's a little more laid back, a little more chill, but still pretty cool.
Did you guys walk down there?
No, we Ubered because we stayed in Mission Valley.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So we just Ubered down there.
Gotcha.
And so we went to dinner at this Italian restaurant. It was called like Bacoro or something.
Bukkake?
The food was good, but they had one of those big ass cheese wheels where they cooked the pasta inside the cheese wheel.
Shout out to Bukkake.
Yeah. And so my girl did that. She did that.
Stupid.
They did like a pasta with like mushrooms and shit, and they cook it and like they heat the pasta up and then they pour it into the cheese wheel, and that's how they like.
What's the place called again?
Coro. Won't say bukkake. You got something on your mind, Mitch. I don't know what, but. But it was
My bad. I
good.
misheard.
And then we walked around, and then we stopped by this dope ass sushi bar, and I sent you some pictures.
Yeah. That thing was lit up pretty nice.
Yeah, and man, I looked at the menu. The menu looks dope, and it's kind of like hip hop themed. They had like a mural of Biggie and a mural of Pac and
Eating sushi?
what else on the walls.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the sushi rolls had like cool names to them. I actually took pictures of the menu just because I was like, "There's some cool ass rolls in here."
And that was downtown?
That was in
That
Little
was
Italy.
Italy too.
Yeah.
Okay, got you.
So it was right on the little strip of like all the little restaurants and bars. And then there's one other place we went a couple days later. It's called Mona Lisa Deli. They have a restaurant, but it's like a corner store. That's like a little Italian like shop where you can go in and get your pastas and your drinks. And they have like, it's like a little corner store, but they have a deli counter in there. And they make the best sandwiches in all of San Diego.
Really?
Oh my God. They're so good. It's like a Guido's on steroids.
Really?
Yeah, they're amazing. All kinds of Italian stuff like turkey, all the boar's head meats, all the nice Italian bread that they probably make fresh somewhere in there. And then attached to it is an Italian restaurant where the food is bomb. We went in there at dinner one night. We did that. We rented jet skis out on the bay.
Oh, really?
So
All right, I got to know, what does jet skis cost in San Diego on 4th of July weekend?
I'm going to tell you this is crazy. So there's a couple different places.
That's a good question.
So when you talk about the bay, there's a couple. You have
There's only one bay, so let's
you have
get
Mission Bay, which is right by Mission Beach and the water back there. And then you also have San Diego Bay, which is kind of right next to downtown.
Yep.
And you have the aircraft carrier sitting in there.
Yeah.
And then across is you have the bridge going over to Coronado. You have the military base in Port of Coronado there. So I've done jet skiing in Mission Bay before. It's always super crowded. There's not a lot of big area to go because there's that island in the middle with the hotel. I think it's called, I forget what the hotel is called. But you basically just circle around it because that's all you can go there. And there's a ton of people and everybody's kind of going the same direction and you just kind of trying to avoid people and you know, people get on jet skis here on 4th of July. So when we went to book, I was like, man, you know what? We were talking about it. We were trying to figure out a day to do it. I'm like, well, we're not leaving on Monday. Let's do it Sunday. And she's like, all right. I'm like, maybe it'll be a little bit cheaper because 4th of July was Thursday and then everybody's in town Friday. Everybody's in town Saturday. A lot of people are leaving Sunday. So we did it, basically pick up the jet skis on Harbor Island, which is basically you go to the airport and you just keep driving past all the airport entrances. And then you make a left and you get on this little strip that's like a little island. And there's a Sheraton right there, which we stayed in a Sheraton, but different Sheraton.
Right.
You walk through the hotel to the back and there's a little stand and then there's a dock and they have all the jet skis lined up. So
you can just leave right off the dock right there?
You leave right off the dock and you go right in, but you have to go around. So you go through like basically past all the boats that are all docked back there. So you have to, it's like the first 10 minutes of your ride, you're going 4 miles an hour, just kind of putting along, looking at all the cool boats. And then you make a turn and then you go out and then you go and you're in the bay. And there's like, we went past like this military boat that went past us that was like ginormous, like not like a boat you would never see in Mission Bay.
Right.
Or, you know, it's this, and basically from one side they come under the Coronado Bridge, and that's why the Coronado Bridge is so high. Have you ever seen how high it goes up?
Yeah.
That's because all these huge ships. That's a passageway from there, from around one thing and then out to the other.
They come onto the bridge. Okay.
Yeah. So. And you come around and
it's one of the Bukkake bridges.
You come around out of the thing and then
by Pickleport.
You hit the open water of this bay and it's ginormous. And so I booked it at 5 o'clock on Sunday, 5 o'clock in the evening. It was an hour and a half, I think you get.
Okay.
That's
$99.
very nice.
That is hella good because
I was thinking like 300 or something.
Yeah, because
some of them can be more. Like last time we did it, it was like we rented one jet ski and it was like $220 for 2 hours.
Yeah.
This was for 1 hour. It was $99. We rented 2 jet skis, so we each had one because last time me and my girl kept fighting over who was going to drive it.
Right, yeah.
She didn't like how I was driving it.
So is it 99 a piece or 99 for both of them?
99 a piece.
And you sure it wasn't special $99 for a 1999 jet ski?
No.
Okay.
And the jet skis were fast. And here's the great part. So last time we did the same area, and there was a lot of boats and jet skis, but it was 5 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
So there was like maybe 10 other people out there on jet skis, and you could just hit it, and I just had it full throttle, and you're just boom skipping across, and the jet skis, you know, you're bouncing, hitting waves, and It's a little bit choppy, so it's not like ocean big waves like me and you had Mitch in Mexico, where you're like and just bashing.
Wherever you fall off, you'll never be found
you'll never
again.
be found again. But I'm just zipping back and forth, and like there was a point for like 20 minutes, I just took off and was like going down and circled back, came back all the way back, and I didn't even see my girl for like 20 minutes. I'm like, I don't even know where she's at.
So 20 minutes of relaxation. Shout out to the Little Mermaid.
I didn't even see any.
She's probably swimming the
I didn't even
channels.
see their jet skis. Well, then this was the time this big, huge military boat's coming through, right? And I see it pass me, and I'm like, holy cow! Like I didn't even come within like a couple hundred feet of it. This thing was ginormous, like guns on it. All
Should have went head up.
like one of these big. Hey, all of a sudden I hear it going, and then I see a jet ski pull out from in front of it. It's Ariel.
Oh my God.
She cut across.
No, she didn't.
And then I go, what were you doing? She's like, oh, they were just waving at me. I'm like, no, you were too close. I was like, you dumbass. But she's like, no, they were honking at me because they wanted to say hi. I go, they did not want to say hi. I'm like, you got too close on the jet ski.
Yeah.
They were letting you know that you get any closer, you're going to get ran over. So yeah, she tries to get a little wild too. So then she started doing like burnouts and like spinning around.
Right.
And then she'd take off and hit her wave and go launching. She's like, take a video and send it to my dad. I'm like,
my God.
this can't end well, but she did it. I sent the video, but then she's like, yeah, let's race back. And we started going, and I cooked.
You cooked her, yeah.
She's not gonna say that, but I cooked her. So that shit was fun, but
Kind of like I beat my girl in go-kart racing.
yeah,
she's
exactly.
watching.
Exactly.
Yeah, she know what time.
Although the things got screwed up, so her name was at the top.
Oh, yeah,
Changed
okay.
cars.
Okay.
No.
No, because when they went to go sit down,
Yeah.
they jumped in the wrong cart.
Yeah. She jumped in the wrong cart. And
So
then
they're like, "Oh, she got first." I'm like, "No way."
she-
She was into the walls as she was making turns. I'm like, "There's no way."
oh, that shit was.
But the one other thing we did is we just happened. My cousin.
You got a
who
whiskey
lives out
girl
there,
though?
We didn't make it to. We didn't make it to Gasline.
What?
Yeah, we did make it downtown. Actually, we didn't make it on a gas line. We made it downtown. So Saturday night, my cousin who lives out there got us a couple tickets to the Padres D-backs game.
Right.
So I will say this: San Diego Baseball Stadium is one of the most underrated stadiums. It's probably one of my top three
dope.
favorite stadiums.
It's
that I've
dope.
been
When
to.
we were there, it was
Yeah,
hella,
it's so much
Did you go into what's a Bubs?
We did go into Bubs afterwards.
Yeah, okay.
I got there for like an hour to let traffic die down.
Gotcha.
Had some drinks and then had the Uber pick us up.
Yeah.
But the baseball game was awesome. It went to extras.
Yeah.
D-backs ended up pulling it out.
Yeah.
It's a great game. And then they did a fireworks show afterwards.
Really?
They launched the fireworks off right from the field.
Okay,
So it was
wow.
like your own private fireworks show.
Oh, shit.
But this shit went on for like 15 minutes. Star Wars theme. They had like video and they had the lights going on. They played like parts of like Star Wars on the video screen and like they like incorporated like batters with like they were showing the batters instead of a bat in their hand, it's a lightsaber.
Okay.
They're swinging at the ball and the ball explodes. And they were doing the light show and had music playing. It was dope. They did an amazing job on whoever put that together did an awesome job on that shit.
You didn't go out. You didn't go out after that.
No, so that was Saturday night, and we were beat because and then we were gonna jet ski the next day.
Yeah.
And my girl before, she's like, "Well, I want to go lay out at the beach all day before we go jet skiing," and I'm like, "I don't know, something about the beach. If you're just out there in the sun all day and
Yeah.
hanging out and
Oh, no, it's
walking around and playing in the water and
Yeah.
like
The sun
it just
drains you. Yeah.
so I was like, I was already drained from all the other days we've been at the beach. And so we just went to Bubs. We hung out till about midnight. We were with my cousin too. And he doesn't like to stay out late.
Okay, gotcha.
He's had some health issues. So,
Got you.
and he Ubered with us there from the hotel. So we went back with him. And then basically my girl's like, let's go back out. But by the time we got back, it was like 12:45. I'm like, man, the bar's closed here at 1:30. By the time we get
Yeah,
around
that's the
to
only
get anywhere.
That's the only shit
bars are
they
gonna be closed.
Yeah, that's the only shit. They actually close at 2, but they kick you out at 1:30.
1:30. They cut everything off. They're like, all right, you guys got to leave.
I'm like, oh,
The
y'all
bar's
closed it.
empty by 2.
Yeah, but they fucking kick you out at 1:30.
There's too many people hanging around before at 2:30, like waiting for taxis.
Man,
or
back in
late night food.
back in the day, the heyday of San Diego, they used to have some cool ass bars, and they just they would fucking close off the street down, and people just
Well, I remember too.
pouring.
Hey, Route 66. used to pop.
Yeah.
There would be a line around the building.
What's that one downstairs bar?
Blue Tattoo.
Yeah, Blue
That was the
Tattoo.
one-
That's
Sunday nights after the Chargers games.
bro.
After the Chargers games,
So
it was
that's-
ridiculous. Everybody show up on all the Chargers, and whatever team they played would show up there.
Yeah, that's a cool thing. It's like when I had my players card back in the day, they respected that shit, especially at that club and stuff like that. You go in there, and that was a dope ass fucking club. I don't even know why they went out of business, but that shit was fire.
I'll tell you real quick because I don't think I told the story. San Diego, this is way back late 90s when I first moved here, and I used to roll with my boy Lynn. Everyone, you guys seen Lynn, big dude. So we're rolling around, and first of all, Route 66 had a line around the fucking building. We were going to the Chargers Ravens game the next day. What's it called? I remember we walk up to the front. I'm trying to get my hustle on real quick, and I go, so hey, and I'm talking to the bouncer, and then Lynn goes, "What? Even the players got to wait?" And he goes, "Oh, sorry, man. You guys, what's it called? Didn't you know?" Yeah, and then and then I just kind of went, "Be more, baby, be more," And then they're all go right in. Hey, we run right in, whatever. And even I didn't even know about a player's card or whatever. But they let us right in, and the next thing you know, we were running that at the bar and everywhere else, stuff.
Yeah.
And then we go to Blue Tattoo. Then make sure you come back Sunday night or whatever. So we actually ended up coming Sunday night. I remember the game specifically because it was Ryan Leaf's rookie year, and it was the first game he got benched.
Okay.
And it was the game he got benched. The other quarterback with the mustache or whatever won the game for him, and Natrone Means broke his leg that game. I remember that.
Right.
And so anyway, Natrone Means is there with a broken leg and crutches at the club.
Oh, wow.
I remember Ryan Leaf, his brother, and them all were there.
Gotcha.
And everybody was there. What's it called? I remember even Tim Raines was there. He played for the Padres his last couple of years, and he was there. I mean, there were so many people there. And I remember Ryan Leaf comes over to me and Len for a second, and he comes over, puts his hands on Len. Man, I need you blocking for me, big boy, whatever. I mean, it was funny. It was funny, and Ryan Leaf was kind of an arrogant prick, though.
Yeah.
And it was kind of funny because the bartenders, he came in with like a leather coat or whatever. He put it behind the bar. And so the bartender's like, man, you guys like that guy, man? He's a fucking dick, whatever. And we're like, we heard all the stories.
Yeah.
And he goes, and so Ryan Leaf comes back over. Hey, can I get my jacket? Huh? What are you talking about? I'm Ryan Leaf. Who? Right. And then he still looks at us, starts laughing. But he finally gave the dude his jacket. But he was busting his balls.
Oh, God.
Not even kidding. It was kind of funny. And you could see how, I mean, I'm not trying to knock somebody because I know Leafs turned his life around and, really, whatever. But I could see how they gave that college dude that much money. And he was still like a big frat boy.
Yeah.
Because his brother and the other person he was with, they were frat boy-ish at the, I'm not saying that doesn't, but I mean, probably if you had spent more time on partying, instead of partying, learning your playbooks and, whatever else. Because, I mean, he obviously had all the physical tools. Yeah. But anyway, so that was a San Diego night with Blue Tattoo, Route 66. And then actually also, a few years later, there was always Martini Ranch for a while there, too. And then the gas amp just went on steroids and started becoming like the most.
Yeah, it was, man, like in its heyday, that shit was so motherfucking fun.
And what about Sayal's restaurant, too?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to talk about a place to catch a game in San Diego?
Yes.
Any sports game, Sayal's. Sayal's restaurant.
That was off the.
I don't think it is.
No, it's not. And it was off the. That was off the fly, right?
Off the Qualcomm, yeah.
Yeah, Qualcomm. Yeah. That shit was fire. Though.
Yeah.
And that's all changed because that got torn down, and now they built a big, huge soccer stadium there. So it's pretty dope. One last thing about San Diego, I did make a couple stops to my all-time favorite little bar down there. It's called Sandbar. It's right on Mission Beach. It's a little two-story. I sit up on.
Is that the one with the Red Bull slushies, Red Bull and vodka slushies?
And then the fish tacos that everybody had.
Hold on.
No, they have Red Bull. You're talking about the other one down the road.
Okay.
Where
Sandbar's
the Blue Jay stuff.
Sandbar's
the one.
Sandbar's
by the
right
Ferris
next to the
wheel.
one
Next to the-
when I got the.
By the first one.
Or is it right next to where I got the condo?
Yeah.
Down on the beach.
No, that's the Wave House.
Wave House. Okay.
It's across that little road there. It's the one that's 2 stories.
Gotcha.
Yeah, those are the best fish tacos.
They have this new menu item. They were called Loco Fries. Their fries, first of all, are super crispy. They're awesome. And then they put this adobo pork on top, which is like a red sauce, amazing. And then like 2 different kinds of Mexican cheese, and they had like the crispy onion strings. It was and I was kind of hungry. It was some of the best. Like it was like a carne asada fries but adobo pork. Oh my God, it was out of control.
So good.
I started eating. My girl tried it. She just kept eating off my plate. I was like, damn. And then they have their queso is amazing too. Chips and queso. So if you're in San Diego, check that place out. It's right there by the beach, but it's more of a local spot. That's where all the locals that go to the beach go and hang out. So
Gotcha.
Great food there though. So that was my weekend, just living it up on the beach and
What you got, Tatano?
Well, one, I was finally happy to be, because I was out of commission for like 10 days. Didn't even move, get out the
Yeah, how you feeling?
better. Actually, went into my chiropractor on Monday to get my leg looked at. Well, I mean, and also just to get an adjustment. Actually had some acupuncture done.
Gotcha.
So that was cool at least. But and so finally on Thursday, just kind of rested enough to finally get out the house for 4th of July. Went over to little bro Ryan's house. He had a little 4th of July party.
There you go.
So his backyard's on the lake, whatever. So that's pretty dope. They actually have speedboats that pull up and down.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that one, whatever. So that was a cool time. Me and Chris went out there. Good people. He was actually on the grill doing like carne asada and chicken and everything. And then they also had these. Somebody ordered these empanadas that were freaking amazing. Some empanada spot, and it was amazing. It was a cool crowd of people. What's it called? Even his cousin from Connecticut, what's his name? James, that does all that's killing it in what's it called? Solar. Remember he's on he came through from he was visiting and stuff. So it was cool. It was cool just to chill with everybody and and be able to get out and do a little bit of 4th of July and stuff like that. Even met don't want to put everything out there like that, but like some of the people came through Ryan. He's very connected with all the like people, some people in the scene and shit. There was a guy introduced me to, and he's like, "Yeah, that's my big brother Mitch." Oh, okay. So, dude was cool as shit. Ended up being a Major League Baseball agent for like 10 players.
Okay, got you.
And he was like, and I guess he's got the plug or whatever, and so he was like, man, because I guess, he takes care of Ryan, but Ryan doesn't like to ask for that shit or whatever, And he was like, man, hey, you ever need anything? He goes, I got this many seats, there are like 15 rows from here, blah, blah, blah.
Dope.
And they're amazing, so if you ever need them, just let me know. I'll get you seats. And I go, okay, cool, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. And he goes, no. They're in any stadium in the country.
Oh shit!
Any stadium you want to go to.
Wow.
He goes, I get seats. So
Damn,
I was like, I just thought that was pretty cool to say.
Yeah. Right.
But again, so that was pretty dope to just be able to get out the house and then chill over there. And then basically, what else? What we do? Okay, so then I want to say, yeah, it was pretty much another just chill weekend. Got to obviously pop in.
Any good food?
Yeah. So okay, got to pop in the Moose Lodge for a little bit. And then speaking of good food, so who was in town? Remember the little bartender from Willie's, Sam, right?
Yeah.
The White Belt Sam.
Yeah.
Him and his wife JoJo, who was also a bartender. Like we all went to this bar back in the day when they weren't even dating,
right?
And now they're married. Got 3 kids. First of all, one of his daughters' names. One of his daughters' names. Her name's Oakland. Right, which is dope. Right. Her other daughter's name is Luca, and I guess he named him before Luca.
Okay,
but he lives in Texas, so it's kind of ironic.
Yeah.
And his son's name's Chipper, and for Chipper Jones.
Chipper Jones,
yeah.
got you.
But the one, hey, so this girl's like 4 years old, and he goes, tell Mitch what your name is. Oaktown the Destroyer. Like she was going around saying that. That was one of the cutest, dopest things, especially being from the Bay Area. So
Right.
This little girl saying her name was Oaktown the Destroyer. It was pretty dope. But I'll tell you this, Sam's family on food gets down.
Really?
I don't think I've had a better family breakfast ever.
Okay.
Like the stuff he hit me up. Hey, you want to meet me for Sunday? Bring whatever you want to drink. Starting at 9 o'clock, we're gonna go all day. Mm-hmm. He goes, our family's just gonna eat. And so the dad was making what's it called? The dad was making sourdough waffles. Mm-hmm. So sourdough waffles, and they had some straight fresh off, like some straight maple syrup, like some real maple syrup. Oh, wow. Their own stuff. They do their own butter.
Right.
Yeah, Sam lives on a farm in Texas. He does like some cattle, even has some Wagyu cattle that he's working on, or whatever. And so, the bacon was insane. The sausage, they had a maple sausage, a maple syrup sausage that they were doing.
Right.
And then there's this other thing, and he couldn't even explain it, but they did a biscuit, and it had like a sweet corn butter on it.
Oh shit!
And it was almost like the best dessert ever.
Huh.
I've never had. Oh, it's a sweet corn gravy. And they put it on the biscuit. It was the most amazing biscuit I've ever had in my life. Most amazing gravy I've ever had. I don't even know what it was. And I was like, man, whose recipe? And they said that it was handed down over the family.
Got you. There you go.
I go, if you open this up and had this in like the East Valley, you'd have people lined out the building for hours. I've never experienced anything like
really?
that. Yeah. That was amazing. It was amazing. That and then the sourdough waffles were pretty nice too. And then then they were going to be making burgers and stuff. So we got to chill with that. And then that was cool. As far as food spots, did get to go earlier this week. I actually got to take Chris. She hadn't been yet. We had to go to Phoenix for a little bit. So again, and it's funny, everything where we got to go is in this pocket between like Osborne, Thomas, 3rd and 16th Street. So again, Lucky Boy was the one time.
Yeah.
And then right down the street is that Kebab to Go that we did last. And then this time we were out there. I picked. There's 2 places right next to each other, about a block away. Excuse me. It was between Luke's Chicago, beef,
And Miracle Mile.
Miracle Mile, and I think Miracle Mile won.
Yeah. What'd you have over there?
So I had we split like I had the turkey. I had the pastrami corned beef.
Okay.
And then she had the brisket, and and we just kind of like split it, whatever.
I love the 1.5 over there, boy.
I like the straw.
That shit is so good.
The place is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Like it's good and the portions are good, but now that those sandwiches are $20, it's not the same feeling as when they were 12.
Gotcha.
You got to remember like when they were Christown Mall and they were $12 or Arrowhead Mall.
But that's what we were kind of talking about it before. I had a burrito a couple of days ago. We were up in Kearney. My girl's from Kearney, Arizona, and this place is called J&G's. You got to go up there and try Mexican food, family owned, everything like that. And I'd had their tacos before. Their fucking meat seasoned in perfection, bro. It's up there with Taco Bell. Man, it's up there. It's so good.
Okay.
But for $10, because I ordered extra meat at first, right? And he kind of looked at me, and my girl was like, "You ain't gonna need extra meat, trust me," because I'm used to these fucking burritos down here and shit. But when I tell you, this thing was so damn big for $10. You had to take 2 hands wrapped around that bitch. It was so so big.
Pause.
And when I tell you, all the meat and cheese, that shit was fire. But you talking about you talking about for the value.
Yeah.
And that for like
and good, yeah,
and good. That's what I'm saying. It was good, and for the value, it was like perfect. It was like, man, I got to go to a small town to be able to get something of value. Where down here, they try to that burrito alone would fucking probably cost me $20 down there.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. So so that was that man. Which was how far away is that place, by the way?
Superior from my house.
Oh, okay.
It's up by Superior.
Okay, about 45 minutes hour.
Yeah, so it'll take about an hour to get up there because it's Superior will take about 30 minutes, and then it's another 20 minutes from Superior.
Okay. I was gonna say because I've made bike rides up to Superior.
Yeah.
And I made bike rides to Globe. It's probably in between then.
Yeah. So instead of going straight on Superior, you just make a right.
Oh, okay, right up at Superior. Okay.
You make right at Superior. You make a right, and you go.
I've been to that Mexican spot right before you make the right over there at Superior.
Oh yeah. It's down. This is you got to go. You got to go. Yeah. You got to go back.
Okay, yeah, I might have to.
And like I said, it's right before you get into the town of Kearney.
You can eat it there.
Yeah, bro,
I'll tell you what.
they got a nice little bar and grill in there.
When it gets cooler, I'm gonna ask you for those directions. I'm gonna make a bike ride.
Oh man, yeah. Every time I go over there to do a delivery, bro, it's fucking. I got to stop there.
Or shit, I might have to call you, meet you, have you bring one back.
Yeah,
No, definitely. Let me know. I mean, I'd like to set me up, bring one back.
Because it's funny that you said that because that's why I ended up ordering one, extra one, and brought back and had it for dinner and shit like that.
So just finishing up a couple things too. On another note, on Saturday morning, I got word that one of my best friends in high school, my boy Ty Foote, passed away. So rest in peace to my boy. It's crazy. He was 51.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he have some health problems?
You know what? He did have some health issues, over the years, and actually, was in the hospital for a couple months, like recently, and stuff. And what's it called? But he got back home, and really just, again. I don't want to get into too much detail, but it just, I don't know. We're still trying to figure out what actually happened.
Gotcha.
But no, it was still just, even though, someone's not in the best health,
right.
What's it called? It still doesn't take any of the blow away from just, I had me thinking about that relationship and especially how it was for us in high school. We came from rival grammar schools. We were, what's it called? We kind of like would talk trash to each other when we first met each other, and then you realize you're so much more similar and stuff. And so we used to run around high school together, and so so for your boy to pass, again, it's just realize we're getting to that age where these phone calls, man, you don't even want to take them because it's not going to be most of the time positive news, and it's starting to get a little scary. So man, rest in peace to my boy Ty. prayers out to his family and friends that are, that are going through it right now. And it made me think of one thing too, real quick. What's it called? I went on a trip to Chico State back in the day. This is probably, this is mid-90s, right?
Okay.
One of my boys that doesn't really drive, his name is Dave. He drove. My other boy, Ty was there, and one of my other boys, Dave.
Right.
And me. Have the weekend of our lives visiting another friend of Chico. Chico's a party town. And it's like, like I think I talked about it before. One of my boys lived in the dorms. I think we partied. We got there. And we partied right when we got there. It's one of those, you get there at 4 o'clock, you start drinking. We partied all the way through, pass out someplace, and leave the next morning. But again, this is where I think time changed, because that seemed like eternity. And we went to like 10 different parties, going all night, stuff. And like that 12-hour period seemed like a week compared to now, So, and I know you're younger, but still, there's something up with that, in my opinion. But anyway, so I just was reflecting on that and all these crazy times. And I looked, and I'm like, damn, the other 3 people in the car are no longer with us. There are 4 people in the car, and I'm the only person on that trip.
Right.
And it's like when stuff like that starts in you, it's crazy. And all I can say is, man, appreciate the good folks you have in your life. Keep those memories close. And the older you get, in my opinion, the currency really is experience and energy and good vibes more than it is paper, these fake paper dollars we're chasing after. I know you need those to pay your bills. You need those to, set up your plays in life. But you also got to put it in perspective, because it just really puts, when you lose these things, you definitely, want to, everybody's on borrowed time. I mean, all of us here, we're technically, if you do the statistics, we got less years in front of us than we do behind us.
Yeah, for sure. That's
And then, I don't want to be on a somber note, but one last thing. So, heading off of that, couple, we're talking about shows we watch and stuff. Man, I'm telling you, I know I'm late to the party, but Mayor of Kingstown. Definitely check that out, man. We watched. Watch that. Love that.
Series you were telling me about.
Amazing. Yeah. Got Jeremy Renner. It's like almost like a Shield on steroids with a little, and it's almost like a Shield, a Wire, all sorts of stuff. Kind of, it's pretty. It's good. I was very impressed by it. So yeah, definitely check that out. And the other thing I got to check out this weekend, got to check out the new Beverly Hills Cop.
Yeah. That, like I said, that took me back, man. It was. I watched it with my girl, and of course, my girl's younger, so she doesn't understand a lot of the references in the movie. But I think they did an amazing job of like bringing all the movies, like references to all the movie. Like I was talking to you about earlier, like Surge was a character that's in it. Of course, he has his trademark Detroit jacket on. I think they did an awesome job of like that movie, like him even being older. That was just perfect. It was perfect how it was laid out. So
no, agreed. Because I'll tell you what, I was going to be a little skeptical, because I think they fumbled Coming to America, even with the all-star cast. I thought that was one of my favorite funny movies at the time, and it kind of left kind of just wasn't the way I envisioned. So I really wasn't that excited about Beverly Hills Cop.
Right.
But wanted to check it out. Other thing too, I got to be real, considering Eddie Murphy was one of my favorite entertainers, period, stars. Any movie he was in, I wanted to watch in the 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
And then right after Nutty Professor, I felt he was never the same.
Right.
I didn't think anything he did was funny. Maybe I felt I outgrew his comedy, or maybe I'd seen it too many times, but I just didn't feel he had that magic anymore that he had when everybody saw, the first times around. He was like the funniest dude I've ever seen.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I felt like he fell off so hard that he
It
lost
happens
it.
to a lot of comedians. Because if you think about it, Chevy Chase was the same way, man. He was like bigger than life, and then he did like the vacation movies, and then after that, it was like, what did he do?
But here's the crazy part is, like, he had Fletch, and he had,
But those are all about the same time.
Yeah, true.
Actually, Fletch was earlier.
But the thing about it is that, again, I think some of them are only as good as they're written and how they put the people in there. So Vacations were hilarious to me, but it took the whole, Vacation to me really wasn't even about Chevy Chase. It was about everybody together.
Right.
Piecing in the stupid shit they did, more than Chevy Chase to me. But I hear the reference, like, Eddie can make a whole movie, but again, his comedy, his wit, his comebacks, his one-liners, like you said earlier, banana in the tailpipe. These are classics forever for the people that lived through them. I didn't think he was going to be able to get that magic back, and for some reason, when I'm watching that, I was like, okay, this is, you know,
Yeah.
I felt like
it took you back because, like I said, it was like it was like just an older version of Axel Foley. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I bought it.
Yeah, and I bought into it. That's what I'm saying. It
I
was
caught
like,
myself laughing a lot. Which
man, that's what I'm saying.
I really don't. And even my girl did the same thing. Like, you know, this is funny, but I think I got to go back to watch 1 and 2. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
My girl's like, this movie is corny. I'm like, you don't get any of the references.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it was definitely good because it was, you know, just because they brought back Billy, Taggart, you know, stuff
Hey,
like
that's
that.
the crazy thing about dating a younger girl. They haven't seen like even like the movies from like the 90s and 2000s that you're like, oh, that's everybody's seen that. You know, I've never seen that. I was like, yeah, in the 90s you were just born.
Well, if you put it in perspective, if you talk about, you know, if you talk about like 1984 to 2024, right?
Right, yeah.
Okay. And then you go back and go, whatever you were in 1984, it'd be like 1944.
Yeah.
And now that's the biggest mind blown ever. You know what I mean? Because we're talking, you know.
Well, in our hotel, the movie The Rock came on
Okay.
with Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's a classic. My girl's like, what movie is this? I'm like, it's The Rock. She's like, what is that? I'm like, you've never seen this movie? She's like, no. I'm like, where did you live?
But again, and then here's the thing: it can't be as like again, it can't be like us sitting there going, okay, let's watch Gone with the Wind, or The Wizard of Oz. I mean, and stuff, or you know.
But I felt like as I don't know, maybe we were more of a TV culture growing up.
Of course, yeah.
Because I felt like we watched a lot of older movies that were made before.
True.
That I felt like the younger generation didn't watch. You know, movies like in our generation, but
Yeah, they have more.
but we
options.
definitely watch at least like movies from the 60s and the 70s, you know what I'm saying? Like I remember watching Dolomite or, you know, what's another one?
Foxy Brown.
Yeah, Foxy Brown, kind of cultural icon movies like that. I remember watching those things, you know what I'm saying? And those movies came out like when my mom was growing up. So I just think like we were more of a MTV culture, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so you know, that was, I think that was just different than them growing up on a, you know.
Well, speaking of that culture is dead now.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, speaking of MTV is they just deleted the whole fucking
Paramount, right?
deleted the whole fucking history of MTV essentially.
Well, first of all,
off their website.
I'm already jump off the subject real quick because we said Paramount. I said it before,
Right.
But again, when you watch a Paramount film and you see all the fucking stars come down from the sky and they go to the mountain, just think about what they're trying to send that message.
Right, gotcha.
Okay,
And
back
that's
to
funny
that.
that you say that because now I got to go back. I mean, I'm picturing exactly what you said, and I never knew that reference. So,
Yep.
got you.
So,
So what's this? The stars coming down, and
Yep.
and it's supposed to be the mountain of what?
Okay, so it's supposed to, I mean, again, you know, allegedly, it's the, you know, okay, first of all, stars coming down. What are falling stars, you know? Fallen angels or whatever. And supposedly they're all going to that mountain where they're supposedly frozen in, you know, it's either Herndon or whatever, you know, supposedly, allegedly.
Okay.
But there's definitely some strong symbolism on all that shit, you know?
But yeah, I mean, they just ripped MTV. Like, I mean, we're talking about 30 years.
Supposedly for budgets, right? Supposedly for the
Okay, so what? Here's my thing: is when they say for budget, the internet. What does it cost to fucking have that shit up on the internet?
Well, 30 years worth of data, servers, it could get expensive. So
Yeah.
if they want to purge, they just wipe, you know, they basically took the site down. So if you go to mtv.com now, it takes you to a Paramount page with like a little MTV and it shows a couple of the shows that are currently on.
Which, by the way, let's speak on that real quick. Our generation started on music videos. We're so excited to watch these videos.
Oh, man,
they were state of the art. You know, it didn't matter.
The box.
Yeah, you know,
Fucking VH1.
Yo MTV Raps.
Yes.
You know, even the dance shows that, you know, they'd be dancing in the club, the Julie Browns and all that stuff.
Right.
And we get from that to obviously the Real Worlds and then the Jersey Shores, Alabama's.
That's what fucked it all off. Like, Real World with like Pac. What was that? What was the thing? Is
Pauly D and all
Pauly D. No, not even before that. What was it? What was the DJ? Oh, it was like Pac. His name was Pac or something, or Puck or
Puck.
Yeah, Puck.
Puck. I forget what other
Oh no, there's so many different real worlds. Real World 30.
But
and then
once they went that direction, it was a wrap. It was a fucking wrap.
Pimp My Ride, Cribs, as they started doing all these reality shows that were, aren't even real reality. And now all of a sudden, now you look where they're at, and they down there play ridiculousness and Jersey Shore reruns all day.
Yeah, and
All day.
it's called a music TV channel, and they don't play no music
Music videos anymore.
at all.
Exactly.
What the fuck is what is sad?
And speaking of that, though, like going back into the seriousness of them being able to wipe out a website and all its history, imagine how much work, how much money, and how much content, basically what MTV was all about was just wiped out. It's like,
Now, Nick, okay, you're the tech guy here, right? Yeah. And so you just said, okay, the cost of having the servers and all that stuff like that, right? Well, if you take the site down, you still got to have the servers to house the data, right? So that still got to cost money, right?
I mean, if they got rid of it, they could have just deleted it all or whatever. It's a lot cheaper to house it offline than it is online.
Oh,
and then
cheaper to keep her.
And here's the other thing: when you have that many pages and that much data, you're embedded inside of like all the search engines because your sites and your articles and things have been searched possibly millions and millions of times. You're breaking all that connection. So now basically every link and everything for MTV goes back to Paramount site. So it's actually, they can take any link that would be at mtv.com and point it now back to Paramount. So no matter what you click on, you're going to end up at Paramount site.
Here's the part where it gets scary, and I started noticing this truthfully, obviously, and I truly believe it was on purpose. But during the scamdemic, obviously the internet changed. They basically used the platform of false news and narratives, and then they started getting one side would sit there and go, okay, fact checkers are sponsored by this foundation, that foundation, et cetera, and they started pushing their agenda, which obviously we know a lot of that was wrong now. I mean, or some of that was wrong for sure. They were pushing, this is false, and there's no consequences for it. They can just act like it didn't happen. They can get rid of actual news, actual articles, other opinions. I mean, I don't even know.
I started to know that after 9/11, when you would go to like, I remember there was an article or there was a news, there was a news article or even a story that was on, Fox 10 News, and I go to look it up and the video's just gone. There's no reference of it. You can't find the article anymore. It's like they can basically change the narrative with the keystroke. Where, like I said, like back in the day, this is kind of like the current day burning of books, but instead of having to gather all the books and maybe a couple, still get left out there, people hide them in different things. A couple keystrokes, they can wipe shit out of existence.
Or a couple key
or
ads.
change history.
Or
change the story. Or, you could have the same article and they could go in and tweak the article and you're reading it and it's a different article than you read 10 years ago because they had the ability to do that. So they can literally change history with a couple keystrokes. And that's the scariest part.
Yeah, modern
that's why they went to
crazy.
The digital. Think about it. Very few people will get news. That's the death of the newspaper. Everything's online now, and you pay for it. Try to go find a news article from 10 years ago. They don't exist. Where you could go to a library and get a newspaper, and you could find this information because it was on print. Now it's not. They don't print books like they used to anymore. They don't do any of that shit.
Isn't it kind of funny how the irony of all these movies we watch, like for example, the Book of Eli, how he has to travel for that one version of the Bible, and then they're going to write it down, and they're going to keep it in this one library that holds everything.
Yep. And he had to remember it. Yeah.
I mean,
and here's okay. So I'm glad you brought up that because I touched on last week how, I was checking some things out.
Billy Carson.
Billy Carson about things that were coming up in the Bible. Here's what I want you guys to look. Okay, so it's Exodus 20. Hold on, make sure I know. Hold on, I wrote this down. Hold on, make sure. So I'm quoting this right. Here we go. Yep. Exodus 21 books, 20 and 21. Oh, verses 21. So Exodus book 21, 20 and 21 talks about slavery. In the Bible. I want people to read that. We'll come talk about it kind of next week. That's something I want to talk about because, I can't give it justice. We're at the end of the show right now, but I do want to talk about it because he basically, and just giving like little cliff notes is, you have a just God. Why would he put in to obey your slave masters and stuff like that in this book? So if you want to go check it out before next week's episode, because I do want to talk about that.
Okay, yeah.
So it's Exodus 21 verses 20 and 21. So check that out, and then we touch on that next week.
Definitely, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right, man. We come to the end. We're going to talk about a few things we kind of didn't get a chance to talk on, but that's why we got more shows. So,
thought of the day real quick.
do you got a thought?
Yeah, I'll start it with this because I'm gonna start on one of the topics we're gonna touch on.
Okay.
I guess what thought of the day is good riddance to Ellen.
Well, let's give more credence because the reason why I didn't go into that is because I want you to touch on some other stuff that you know about the story. And it's going to be more than just 5 minutes. So that's what I'm saying is you can give a little teaser.
Okay, yeah. So
Give a little teaser, but we will.
Okay.
But this is a highlight. We will talk about that next week.
First of all, so something interesting I would like to know, and I mean, how did Ellen just get to such popularity, fame? And I did look it up. I think 1982 or 84, she won like a contest. She was a comedian out of New Orleans or whatever, and she won like funniest person of the year out of something, which it's funny. If you see her early stand-up, it looks prehistoric, and it doesn't even seem funny to me, but I mean, so be it, whatever.
Right.
I mean, I know I think she got to do whether it was Carson or Leno or whatever, a few things like that. And then all of a sudden, I mean, we're talking 30 years later, she's, like right under Oprah as far as, powerful players in these, shows. The teaser is going to be, do your homework on her relationship with, the TikTok dancer Twitch and his wife, and also who 6 Degrees of Separation with Diddy, and I mean, and then also looking at Anne Heche, her former girlfriend, who I mean, and then look at the videos of her. They say she crashed her car. She wasn't under influence of anything, and then supposedly burned alive or whatever. But then she's jumping out of the body bag, and why did her clothes are all off? She's out of the body bag alive. Again, and
We got videos of that, dude.
No, exactly.
That's the crazy thing.
They're still on.
Yeah.
I mean, and then there's way more stuff, including some of the crazy ass sweaters and stuff she was wearing with the symbols and stuff during the lockdown. I mean, and
Some of our artwork in
and the artwork in the house, some of the interpretations that like some of the columns of certain paintings, and even in her house and her set that look like certain columns on a certain island.
All right, don't give too much away. Don't give too much away.
So
my
we
definitely
today, good riddance to Ellen.
we definitely gonna talk about this because I want you to get deep in that because that's something that I definitely want to touch on that. Grady, give me something.
Man, so I heard today that a celebrity passed away, and it goes back to my childhood because I don't know if you guys remember growing up watching The Shining.
Yes.
But so Shelley Duvall passed away.
Yeah, the girl in the shower.
And the main girl in the movie, she was like, she had the little son, and they were staying there with Jack Nicklaus. And I remember growing up thinking she was like the freakiest, just because the whole vibe of that movie, and she had those big eyes.
Well, that movie messed her up too. By the way, after
that thing was that movie still sticks with me, and like the red rum and the little kid on the big wheel riding through the
looking at
hotel.
some of the symbolism in that movie and what it's supposed to be about.
It's crazy, but seeing that movie and just her face is like burned into my brain. That'll be like an image I'll never forget, with her large eyes and just her face and everything. And so she passed away. So rest in peace to her. But just kind of crazy that you start seeing as you get older, more and more of these celebrities that you grew up watching are starting to kick the bucket. So
shows immortality coming. Mortality is coming. So
and money don't matter, baby.
Yeah, definitely.
It's coming for you one way or another.
Right. Kind of on that note is I want to go back and we kind of joked about drinking and all the stuff and talking about taking hiatus and stuff like that. Here's the thing, and we've talked about it numerous times. We need to take care of our body though, and all jokes aside is go get your levels checked. Also. If you got anything wrong, don't. I mean, the doctor's there for a reason. I know, like, especially my generation and older, you know, we only go to the doctor unless it's fucking, we damn near falling out. You know what I'm saying? Go get yourself checked every 6 months and make sure you stay healthy. There's people out there that love you, that care about you, that want you to be around for a while. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to live as long as possible. Like I said, my condolences go out to you, and your friend's family. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't know, what his conditions were, if he was working on it or not, like that. But we shouldn't see our brothers and sisters be, dying at it. I mean, we at 51 is still young. You know what I'm saying? So, keep your health out there. You know what I'm saying? And go check, go to doctors, and guess what, folks? We'll see you next week. Love you.